Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Friday the 13th. Oh, crap. What's today going to be like? Ooh. Hope you're not superstitious like I am, because I'm about ready to shut the shop down and get the hell out of here. I know something is going to go wrong. Just kidding. I'm not superstitious. Well, maybe a little bit. All right, so a couple topics, quick ones on a Friday, so you guys can get out and get running. And the one is how do you handle the diagnosis fee? And the way I do it is, have I had customers try giving me their machines for the bill? Yep. Certain ones, it happens. And it's probably the only way I'm going to get anything out of it, even though I don't want it. Within a year ago, I had a scrap company come in and take everything I had, cleared the yard. It was overflowing, no place for no more. The good thing is that scrap prices were up when I called them. And when they got done up there was over $6,000 just in mowers. So I got some of my money back per se, because I got a lot of them were given to us. Just can we drop it off and maybe you can use a part off from it or sell a part or what have you, fix it up, sell it. We don't want to deal with it anymore. The only way, if your area is well known for them ditching their mowers, is ask for the diagnosis fee up front. Each shop is different. Each area is different. We're all unique. We have a lot of the same traits and a lot of the same things going on in our shops, but we're still unique. And as owners, we're all different. Our take on things, how we approach things, the ones that are doing well are even breaking even at this point in this economy. We have a lot in common. The ones that don't have the business sense are falling along the wayside, because it's even hard in this economy, to be honest with you, for good business owners that are smart. So I know, David, what you said about having mechanics stick together. Here's the deal. I started farming in 1980. And milk prices started dropping. Okay. And we found that what was happening was milk was coming in from Canada. In Canada, their farmers were being subsidized by their government, but they were still producing more milk than what they could sell. So they were selling it in our markets. And it was tried a couple times to try to get farmers to work together in unison and to threaten the milk plants that were buying the milk from outside the country. And we could never get everyone to agree. And I just surmised it as, if you're a farmer, you're self-employed, you're a unique individual that's willing to work 24/7, 7 days a week, and you're not afraid of manual labor. Right? But you also have your own way of doing things. You could take 10 farmers and give them a task, and I guarantee you'll have 10 different ways of doing that task. That's how different farmers are. They're unique, and they have some of the same traits as each other. But when it comes to actually doing something together, No, we could never get it done. And I can even remember when we were supposed to be dumping milk for, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. And when the day came to dump milk, only half dumped milk. The other half decided against it and called the milk plant to come pick theirs up. And they said they couldn't afford to lose the money in the milk. That's true. But you're going to lose the money in the long run because milk dropped so low that it was less than what it cost to produce it, with the grain and light bills and everything. So that I can understand, David. But I wouldn't get too worried, because I don't hear, of customers calling from shop to shop looking for labor rates, because they're posted on the board. And the video that I had yesterday afternoon on sales, it said that 20% of your customers are willing to pay full value of what you're offering, pay your labor rate, etc., 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 no questions asked. And they will be the ones that buy 80% of your inventory and 80% of your shop time. That 20% of people. So I don't see those, shopping around calling anybody crooks. Now, the other 20% that are got to have a deal, markdowns, this and that group I can. Because they're the most vocal. Whining if they don't get their way and, always wanting a deal. Cut me a deal. You could actually afford to lose that 20%, because that 20% is only covering 20% of your bills. So you got to put up with them and keep that 20% of income, or cave in and give them a discount. That's your choice. Because that group that whines and complains about the bill does it in my shop just as much as they do it in your shop. So it's not something that is just affecting you. I get the same thing in my shop. We have 20% of our customers are always looking to try to get a better price. And if they don't, they're not happy. So either you'd have to develop a marketing plan to just strictly to the 20% that's buying 80% and get that up to closer to 90 to 100% and get rid of your shoppers, your window shoppers, and your guys that got to have markdown in sales, or just not let it bother you. That's the best thing I can tell you, is it's in the past. Let it go. It's like having a customer that's not happy in here in the morning and then having it ruin your whole day. Why is it ruining your whole day? Well, because the customer was upset. Okay. And hopefully I got it resolved quickly. If not, oh well. I mean, I'm not going to have the rest of my day suck because of one customer. I have hundreds of customers. I don't need to have my whole day ruined over one. So I'm going to kind of full circle come back around to Hometown's question about customers not paying the diagnosing fee and stuff. And what I want to add to that is if you haven't tapped into the used part market, you're missing the train. I have customers that will only want new parts. And you do too. But I also have customers which make up the bulk that if I give them the option of here's what a new one costs, here's what a used one costs that I have up here, and have it less than half of what new is, most often they'll go with the used. Now, that's where hometown, you can make money on it. A lot of times, if you part out that machine, depending upon what the machine is, you don't want something that's older than dirt. But if you've got something that's within the last 10, 15 years, and if it's got a blown engine on it, and it's got a good starter, good PTO clutch, so forth, we tag it and bag it and put it on the shelf before we scrap it out. PTO clutches have come down in years, but I can remember when a PTO clutch would run you $300 to $500. Now you can buy them on eBay for $99 to $150, but still, if you have a parts machine sitting there and it's got a clutch on it, and you can get $50 out of that clutch, there's an extra $50 in your hand. And you're getting the same labor rate. You're not losing on labor and time. And you don't have that money out on the inventory in your shop. Yes, you do have to warranty the used stuff. So that can be a kicker in the ass. But the only thing you'd be out at that point would be your labor. A lot of guys say it's not worth it to take a chance because I want my parts warranted. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But for everybody else that does business like I do, like all the machines that I had up on the hill that I scrapped out, we went through all of them. Had a good engine on it, and it was like a V-twin Briggs. We popped them out. We set them aside. If it had a good hydrostatic transmission in it, and it was a newer Husqvarna Craftsman, they're the same, we take the transmission, set it aside. If it was a bigger mower and it had hydro gear motors on it, we set it aside. If you have the space to have them, and I suggest you have them out of sight, out of mind, because if not, you're going to have people complaining of an eyesore, and then they're going to force you to clean it up. Because the other option you could do is, we have our area, Chemco is what the company's name is, out of Canada, and they'll set a dumpster right out here for us. Now, we won't get as much for the scrap price because they had to drive all the way out here and drop a dumpster. But for them to do that, they expect that dumpster will be filled within 2 to 3 weeks. So you have to take that in consideration too. But one of the things you can do is, as the machines come in, if there's stuff that isn't worth fixing, etc., get a good look at it, take the parts off you want, put the rest of it right into the dumpster. That way you don't have to have the space. Now, when it comes to selling used parts, especially if they're electrical, they don't go out with a warranty. What we end up doing is Claude will show them, bench testing them, that they work before they take them. And we even put special marks on ours, because I've had guys bring back their old one, trying to swap it out or get their money back, saying it was no good, this and that. So you have to be smart if you're going to sell used parts. If you're going to install them, not so bad. But if you're going to try selling used parts, then you need a way to mark those parts so that not so obvious, so that the other person doesn't put your mark on their junk. And I don't allow people to use our parts for testing their machines. Like if they think they need a starter and they come buy a starter from me for $50, and then they're back the next day saying, well, that didn't resolve the issue. Well, probably it's a safety switch then that you didn't, by pulling the wire off the coil. But we don't take back. And it's, you buy it as is, where it is. We'll show you that it works, that it clicks and unclicks with the PTO clutches and stuff. And then you're on your own. So we'll start wrapping this up this Friday the 13th of October. That, David, you're not going to get every mechanic to agree on things any more than I did when I was farming it. And that's not a bad thing. The same thing with business owners. You know, we each have our own unique way of doing things. Don't sweat the small stuff. If that 20% of people that want deals are the ones that are making you feel bad, see, nobody can make you feel anything to start with. That's your choice on, do I feel this way or I don't feel this way. For some reason, you're still stuck with feeling like you're a crook when you're not. You're trying to make a living. And the bigger shops have to have bigger labor rates because you've got more people out front. You've got salespeople. You got. There's a lot of bills that go out. And your clientele is going to be different than my clientele. I already know that. So you can either keep doing business as you are, or you can somehow try to come up with an advertising marketing thing to try to get rid of the people that are just looking for markdowns. So on that note, guys, you have a great Friday, and it's looking good here for tomorrow, for Saturday, and then possible rain Sunday, so we'll see how it goes. And keep the questions, the comments coming. And as usual, if you find value in what we're doing here, if you could like, subscribe, and share. It's up to you. But it'd be greatly appreciated. So you guys have a great Friday. See you Monday.